So if you're thinking about getting a hybrid because you want to help the environment, but you're also a car guy, maybe you're also considering the Panamera for a hybrid sport turismo. After having the car, I've realized that it's really not efficient whatsoever. It does look really nice. It's too heavy to be a sports car. I have another sports car anyways, but the Panamera cannot be driven like that. It's a little sloshy, and if you push it really hard, you can really feel the understeer, and it doesn't brake that fast at all. So the main reason for us to get this car was going to be to do long highway trips with the baby and sometimes a dog. So we wanted the station wagon, as you say in America, or I think you call it a estate. And we're hoping this would be the best of both worlds and get good fuel efficiency since I picked a hybrid. Currently we're using a C63 of 2017 for our long distance commutes, and it's doing really well. It's getting about 39.2 average on this trip, which is really good for a lightweight performance saloon with a V8 turbocharged engine. So I'm paying about £3.92 for a full charge. In winter this is going to give me less range. I'm getting about 17, and in the hotter months it's getting about 28. This is only the range that it shows, but I will actually show you what I'm actually getting from it, because it is actually nowhere close to what it's estimating. Okay, so I started off with 17 miles on the cluster for charge. I'm left with 4. I did 28-minute drive, which was at 8 miles, 8.2 miles really. This is saying 8.7, but okay, whatever. Maybe it's 8.7. So it started with 17 in the range and just got to Umman's work and got 12 left. Okay, so I started off with 17 miles on my range and I have driven 4 miles and I have 11 left. Okay, so we're running some baby trips today. She's got to get her second set of injections. So just driving around town, I'm getting 99 mpg, but that just means that it's using 100% electricity. It just won't go over that. You can see on average what we've been getting. So in the last 91 hours of use, 1,641 miles, I've averaged 36.7, which is okay. I kind of want to see what this would be if it was 100% electric. I think it'd be much better, because that's not awesome. I've averaged that in the C63 to be fair, but this thing weighs an absolute ton. So because I do not have the Taycan Sport Turismo, but I do have an Audi e-tron 55, which is also kind of the middle fast one, dual motor, I'm going to charge that one with the exact amount that I put in the Panamera, so £3.92, and so that battery is now charged to the same amount, and in the Panamera I'm getting less than 10 miles range, and in the e-tron I'm actually getting really close to 30. It shows 35, but realistically I'm only getting 30 out of that. So you can see the full electric is getting a lot better range than the hybrid. And I'll make another video with cost analysis and everything later, but just showing you that now. Here's one plus about the Panamera. Car's been sitting for a whole week and it still had 17 mile charge. So we're using the same road we always use, and we're doing it similar times, similar temperatures, and we're gonna do this drive. It's between 64 and 68 miles, and if we put the Panamera in an automatic mode where it can decide when to use the electricity itself, the best consumption it gets is 58.0. That's only because at the tail end it starts using electricity, and that's gonna bump up its MPG, but otherwise it's quite a lot lower, as you can see. And then as you can see, the C63 39.2, and it does do it in both directions. And then we're gonna do the return trip in the Panamera, and you can see it's getting 58.0 and then 34.8, because the hybrid system is getting low and is now having to use the fuel, is why it's getting less fuel consumption basically. Okay, now I'm going to put it into manual, so I'm going to control when it uses the battery. I'm going to do a little bit of battery in the beginning of the trip in the city. Once I get onto the freeway or motorway, if you want to call it, I'm going to use a motor only. That's why I'm getting 27.6 mpg on this trip, and you can see I'm already at 50 miles. I'm almost there. So you can see it's a lot worse fuel consumption if you do it this way. That is why it's better to just use it in the automatic mode. But what I'm noticing for me is if I use it in the manual mode, it works out a little better for us because it does use the battery really fast on the freeways. So you can see now we're at our destination, 62.2 miles, and our average was 33 mpg. This still worked out cheaper for us because the amount of fuel and energy that we used was less using it in manual mode than if I left it in automatic mode. It will vary depending on what you're driving, but since we're using mostly on the freeway or motorway, it's better to use the gas engine here. And this just shows you that the C63 in that retrospect is just better because now I'm having to put more energy in the car to make it on a return trip. So in conclusion, this probably will not save you that much money. It's very expensive to insure. It's drinking quite a lot of fuel. It's very heavy. It was fun, but in conclusion, honestly, a full electric vehicle is better. The e-tron is so much cheaper for us if that's what you're going for. The C63 was so much cheaper in fuel for us. If I didn't need the space, I would just pick the C63. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next Wednesday. Please like and subscribe.